So far so good. Got 80% of the boxes out of the way, and the wire ties done. Thanks to my little helpers here. Thumbs up, thanks guys. Good job. Good job. And the observation crew at the back here. But so now, next step will be to finish off taking the tie wires out. Get the accessories box out, but I think we're pretty much going to have to take it out of the frame now, so we're going to have to undo all these bolts here and just separate the frame from the whole package, and yeah, and then we'll just see what happens from there. There's no instructions with it, guys. You just pretty much got to work it out yourself, so if you've never done this before, might pay to watch this video, because I will give you a bit of an idea at least of what the procedure is and what's involved in it. Pretty straightforward. If you've got any experience with mechanics with motorcycles before, you shouldn't have any issue with it, but there's always going to be a few hiccups along the way, as there usually is. But anyway, stay tuned and we'll see how we go. Alright guys, that's the thanks to my great helpers here, number 1 and number 2. We've just got the frame out and away from the motorcycle. So now the next step is to try and work out exactly what we need to do. Obviously you can see the back wheel is right up underneath the guard there, so we've got to connect the linkage. So probably going to need to put it on a stand. So we're going to sort of try and manhandle that there, because we've got no front wheel in it, of course. So just trying to work out now what the best course of action would be. Obviously having it on the stand is going to be pretty easy, and a lot easier anyway, to get the rest of what we need to do done. But just supposed to take it slow and steady and just not rush into it, really. Alright, here we go guys. We've got the front wheel in, handlebars are on, the back wheel's in. That was just a matter of putting it on the stand and lining it up until we could get the bottom bolt in the swing arm pivot there, which is the one I'm not pointing to at the moment, which will be, where are we? Yeah, this one here. A little bit awkward to get to, but you need a screwdriver to sort of pull one side into place while you slot the bolt in the other side. But now it's actually on its wheels. One thing I've noticed so far is a little bit tight to get the front axle through, and it does come with a couple of spaces, which makes the job a bit easier, so I'm expecting the fork alignment on this will be pretty good. What else? No real dramas so far at this stage. It's coming ahead as planned. So next stage will be to put the front brake in and get the suspension up and down a bit, so we can settle the forks in before we nip up the fork pinch bolts. But it looks like the bike's come over pretty well. There's a couple of little dents in the radiator there on the left hand side, which I would assume has come through the packaging there. I picked up a hitchhiker down here, a little spider, but that's the least of our worries at this stage. But yeah, so far so good. Looks like a quality product, put together well, and it looks a heck of a lot like a certain other brand that we all know very well. And at a third of the price, it's going to be very interesting to see how it stacks up against that one. Okay, we've hit a little bit of a hurdle. I'll start again. Okay, we've hit a little bit of a snag here. Going on pretty well. Just got to get all the cables rerouted. Probably finish this off tomorrow now. So the last thing we're going to do is try and put the kickstand, on the side stand, I'm sorry, which will, that part of the side stand will mount into here, and the spring will connect to that with one end, and the other end will connect up here. The problem we have, of course, there's always a problem, is this is not a standard fitting for any of the tools we have here, so we're going to have to go and buy a special one for that. I'm sure they'll be available, but it's just a pain in the arse and something that was probably unnecessary, but I can see why they've done it. They've done it to try and save a bolt head protruding out near the foot peg, which does make sense, but yeah, it's just something I wasn't sort of expecting at this stage. But anyway, otherwise pretty good so far. It does look good. Bike does look good. That's the standard chain, 520 obviously by the looks of it, and non-O-ring. So that's something you might want to consider upgrading straight away, or just wait till the original chain and sprockets do start to wear out. A little bit of an issue here, trying to sort out the tightening of the throttle and the brake. Front brake is really spongy at the moment, but that's just one of the things you have to sort of work out with a new bike. May have a little bit of air in the line, maybe just an adjustment issue, it may be a quality issue, which will mean a hardware issue, but we'll work through that as we progress with the assembly. Oh, one of the other things too is you can see the sight glass down the bottom here. Come a bit closer. You can see that there's no oil in it. I do believe from the manual that it does say that it does come with oil, but you might need to top it up. Well, when I say you might need to, I think you will need to. So I'm expecting there is some oil in it, but not enough. One thing to note when you're mounting the handlebars is that you'll have to put on the two clamps. Now, they are directional, and it's pretty hard to tell the difference, but if you have a really close look, you can see that there's not much space in front of the head of that nut, but there is a little bit of space behind the head of the one in front. Now, when you actually first put them on, you'll notice that if you haven't got them right, there'll be quite a noticeable gap between the base of the clamp, top clamp that is, and the handlebar. So don't go and tighten it up because it's not going to get you better. Just switch it around and it'll be fine. But yeah, it's a bit unusual. Most of the time they're multi-directional, but these ones aren't, so yeah, just something to be aware of. Alright, apparently it does come with some coolant, and you can sort of see traces of coolant in the area where the cap seats there, and actually on the cap itself. But when you look into the actual radiator core itself, I'm not seeing any evidence of coolant, so that'll have to be topped up, no doubt. Coolant cap, however, does seem to seat pretty well. Once you get it lined up to start with, of course. Looks like quite a positive turn there, and seats quite well. Battery fits in nice and solidly. There's perfect space for it here. Got a nice little clamp here, only needs one screw, and there's a little elbow that goes into a plastic recess down here. A couple of fuses and joiners that you have to poke down here, otherwise you won't get the seat back on. But otherwise it's pretty compact and pretty neat. Moving to the front, you will need to connect all the wiring for the headlight and blinkers if you choose to use that, and also for the stop light from the front. The rear brake light is already connected, so you don't have to worry about doing that one. So just take a good look at how the wiring's going here, guys. It might just save you a little bit of time. Otherwise you'll just have to do a trial and error like I did, which is just a matter of trying different plugs in different places until you get the right combination. Not a real big problem, to be quite honest, but just a little bit time consuming if you're in a hurry. But anyway, there you go. Most of the plugs are pretty self-explanatory anyway, because you can't put a round plug in a square hole, so to speak, so just a matter of lining up which plugs fit into the other ones, and you're ready to go. Okay. Stay tuned to the end of the video, guys, and I'll show you the bike actually running. Meanwhile, I wanted to add a few more things to this one while I can. I've got a new one now from another manufacturer. This one is an Electra Moto bike, and the other one I've got now is from Hengjin, and there is nowhere near as much assembly involved in the new one I've got compared to this one. However, a lot of them will be similar to this, so it's all good advice anyway. And another thing, this bike comes from the factory very poorly jetted, and will need a little bit of work in that respect. And otherwise it's very good. It's a really good quality product and I was quite impressed with it.